Hello, everyone. Happy holiday season. Now's the time that everyone wants to let loose, eat what you want, drink what you want, not have a care in the world, celebrate time with friends and family. Um, I'm not sure if that's your approach, Dr. Carr. Welcome to our conversation today about holiday time and alcohol. I will just let you all know that as the Director of Medical Education at Live Younger, Dr. Carr is quite the party pooper because the things she has to say, no one wants to do. But because we're dedicated to longevity and having vitality in those, in our last 3 or 4 decades of life where we don't want to end up with any sort of chronic disabling disease and we want to have lots of fun with an active brain and body. I think it's best we hear what you have to say, Dr. Party Pooper.
So I am the wet blanket. Okay, so first of all, absolute Dr. Iyer and I, both of us want to state that we love red wine. So everything after
Yes, but because it's daytime, I'll cheers you with water.
that. So the safest amount of alcohol is actually 0. So there is a lot of myth, Natasha. A lot of people you'll find they'll say, oh, red wine is good for your heart, or mild to moderate drinking is supposed to be good. I think that's what they talk about in the Blue Zones diet. But all of that is not true. And I'm not going deep into the science to explain, observational studies versus case control studies. Bottom line is, and I think some people don't want to listen to us saying that the safest amount of alcohol is 0.
I don't want to hear you say that either. In fact,
Neither do I want to say that, Natasha.
So let's just be clear here. We're bringing you data and science for longevity. It doesn't mean that we will do it precisely either. We indeed used to say 3 drinks a week for women. Remember when that was the going thing, right? And we were very excited until you poured out 5 ounces.
Yep.
Right? Because at that time it was that the information we had available through current science at that time, which was what, 10 years ago or so, it was 3 drinks a week for women, 5 drinks a week for men was acceptable, safe, and fitted with health goals and was considered healthy, right? But it was 5 ounces. And we both almost freaked out when we saw how little 5 ounces is, and you drink 1 glass 3 times a week. And I was like, can I just drink all 3 at the same time and then be done? Right? So when we talk about healthy aging and longevity, why the data is moving in the direction of 0 is because alcohol is a toxin to your brain, and it's been absolutely proven to increase your risk for heart disease. So, Dr. Carr, on that note, sorry?
Everything, actually, heart disease, dementia.
Right. But those are the 2 big things that I think most people would actually care about. And the thing about heart disease is it kills more people than any other disease in North America right now. So we want you to have a great holiday season, but we want to just talk a little bit about the data and then strategies that you can use to lower your alcohol intake. Now, you were presenting to me and discussing a study recently, because that's what you do. You read studies and you like data. So you were saying that for someone drinking 3 drinks a day, which is excessive and absolutely not conducive to healthy aging, but if someone's drinking 3 drinks a day and they lower to 1 drink a day, lower by 1 drink a day, what happened to their heart disease risk?
It goes down by 2/3 of what it was before. That is major by just giving up 1 glass of wine a day. Like, I think that's...
We just assume everybody drinks wine, but lots of people drink beer and cocktails and things. But I would still like to say that wine's healthier than beer or cocktails. Certainly better than rum and Coke.
Natasha, we could be biased because both of us love red wine. So, Natasha, what would you suggest? What would you suggest to someone who doesn't want to miss out on the fun, doesn't want to listen to a wet blanket like me, and still wants to, and I do want to enjoy alcohol as well during the holidays? What would you suggest they could do? I mean, there's
So
no.
here's my thoughts around alcohol, because I've tried to go alcohol free and it lasts about 14 days, 20 days, and then I'm like, psh, I'm out to a nice dinner or I'm sitting with you and we're like, we just want to enjoy something that we find enjoyable, right?
Yeah.
And it's the whole experience, right? So what do we know about longevity studies? We know that good social connection,
Yeah.
lower stress, all impact healthy aging and longevity. So if you are stressed, you've had a long day at work, you come home, we get together, or we're Zooming, or you're just by yourself, even, whatever. I mean, I prefer not drinking by myself, but um, I would say enjoy it and really savor it. We talk about mindful eating. Why don't we do mindful drinking? Right? And then that lowering of the stress response would very likely counteract the negative effects, or not counteract. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying drink, because we know you should not be having alcohol, Dr. Carr, but we're going to anyway. So if we're going to anyway, why don't we do mindful drinking and really not have 3 drinks in a day, but try for 1 a day. So if you're at a party and you're with friends and you don't want to be without your glass, one of the things the patient taught me was to have she has a tea that looks more like white wine in a wine glass, and then she just feels better about socializing that way. Now, if you can't control that, we've always said drink carbonated water with some lemon or lime, and it looks like a drink in between your alcoholic beverages. So you don't have, and I've had this happen. I'll say I'm not drinking and someone will pour alcohol into my glass regardless of what I said. And I think socially people don't get that, you don't want to come across as an alcoholic either. But then, I sometimes think I should tell people I'm a recovering alcoholic, and then they won't force alcohol on me. Sometimes that's the thought that goes through my head. But now I just have to because you wouldn't say that to an alcoholic who's in recovery, but otherwise people think it's just socially the norm to force people to drink alcohol. So that's one thing. How can you navigate the party? Keep something in your hand. I did that at an event 2 weeks ago, where I had something in my hand and I just never put it down. I always looked, and it was carbonated water. I just walked around. And every time they came by to offer me a drink, I said, I'm good, thank you. So try that strategy. Another thing to decrease alcohol consumption is to be satiated. So I think we've always taught people to eat protein, eat a lot of protein and good fat. So have your nuts, have your steak bites, have your cold cuts, or whatever is protein based first. And I think you'll make better decisions about alcohol intake. It won't hit you as hard as quickly. What else about alcohol intake and partying, Dr. Carr? What can people do?
Another important thing, I think, is to not go to a party when you're hungry, or rather eat before you go to a party, because when we are hungry, sometimes we make poor decisions. So and particularly if you are not sure of the type of food that will be there at this party, because Natasha, you and I do this so often. When we're not sure, we eat at home, so that we are not tempted to, oh, I'm just going to eat one, whatever, which I don't want to eat otherwise. I'm just going to eat it today.
That's a lot about mindset too, because I find that many people will say, oh, I won't cook when I'm on holidays, or
Yeah.
why should I eat at home if I'm going to a party? And I think here's where we look at how we value ourselves and our health, and that the behaviors that we choose must be in alignment with how we value ourselves and our health. So if you find yourself saying, oh, well, why would I bother to eat at home when I'm going to a party and I want all that food? Examine that thought, because it might not fuel your health goals. It will feed your disease and your progression toward poor health. But again, back to the alcohol, 0 is the best amount for your healthy aging and longevity. We know that's not going to be the choice for most people. So when you choose to drink alcohol, minimize the intake by using other strategies. Eat, sip on water, carbonated water with lemon, nurse 1 drink for a longer period of time. drink mindfully so that you decrease the amount you're drinking. Because we do this with food as well. I don't know if you've noticed, Dr. Carr, like you'll put something in your mouth and you're mindlessly wandering around and you have no idea, one, if you ate, and two, how much you ate and what you put in your body because you were so mindless about it. And so just being mindful, I think, is very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't go to a party hungry.
Yes, and then up your fluids and up your intake and have a happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone. Bye now.
Bye.